What if I told you there's a plan that could put an extra $200 to $500 in your pocket every month? For millions of Americans relying on Social Security, this could soon become reality. In this video, we're breaking down the two major Social Security increase proposals currently gaining momentum in Congress and under consideration by President Trump. You'll discover exactly who qualifies for these potential increases, how they would be funded, and what other changes to Social Security might be coming. Stay until the end to learn about all 7 proposed changes that could impact your retirement benefits, including some controversial proposals that might reduce benefits for certain groups. Welcome to Financial Area, where we keep you informed about changes that impact your financial future. If you find this information valuable, hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest financial news that matters to you. The Social Security Expansion Act, currently under consideration, represents one of the most significant potential increases to benefits in recent history. If passed, this legislation would provide an additional $2,400 annually to beneficiaries. That's an extra $200 every month going directly into the pockets of retirees and disability recipients across America. This proposal comes at a critical time when millions of seniors are struggling with the rapidly rising costs of housing, healthcare, and everyday essentials. This $200 monthly increase wouldn't be limited to a small group. It would apply broadly to current Social Security recipients, potentially helping over 65 million Americans who depend on these benefits. For many living on fixed incomes, this additional $200 could make the difference between choosing between medications and groceries or being able to afford both. Economic analysts suggest this increase could lift nearly 1.4 million seniors out of poverty within the first year of implementation. To qualify for this increase, you simply need to be a current Social Security recipient, whether you're receiving retirement benefits, survivor benefits, or disability insurance. The proposal doesn't create new eligibility hurdles or complex qualification systems. If passed, the increase would likely be implemented within 6 months, with benefits automatically adjusted without requiring recipients to file additional paperwork or applications. The funding mechanism for this substantial increase involves a significant change to how Social Security taxes are collected. Currently, Social Security taxes are only applied to earnings up to a certain threshold. Under the new proposal, all income over $25,000 would become subject to Social Security taxes. This represents a major shift that would primarily affect higher income earners while funding benefits for all recipients. According to projections from the Social Security Administration, this change would not only fund the $200 monthly increase, but also extend the program's solvency by approximately 75 years, addressing long-standing concerns about Social Security's financial stability. Economists supporting the plan argue that this approach creates a more equitable tax structure while providing critical support to those most in need. The proposal has gained surprising momentum in Congress, with supporters arguing that it represents a necessary adjustment to a system that hasn't kept pace with the true cost of living for America's seniors. Some critics question the long-term economic impact of the tax changes, but proponents maintain that the benefits to vulnerable populations and the overall economy outweigh these concerns. The second major proposal gaining traction aims to establish a meaningful minimum benefit for low-income Social Security recipients. This plan would guarantee that seniors who worked full-time throughout their careers would receive benefits equal to at least 125% of the federal poverty level. For many low-wage workers, this could translate to an increase of up to $6,000 annually, or approximately $500 more per month. This represents a substantial improvement over the current system, where many seniors who worked their entire lives in essential but low-paying jobs still struggle to make ends meet. This minimum benefit proposal specifically targets those who have contributed to the system for decades, but still receive inadequate benefits due to their lifetime earnings. To qualify, recipients would need to have worked for at least 30 years under Social Security coverage. The exact benefit increase would vary based on individual work history and current benefit levels, with those receiving the lowest benefits seeing the largest percentage increases. This approach ensures that the additional support goes to those who need it most while honoring their lifetime of contributions to the workforce. The economic rationale behind this proposal is compelling. Currently, approximately 10% of seniors live below the poverty line, with another 15% hovering just above it. Setting a minimum benefit at 125% of the poverty level would significantly reduce financial insecurity among older Americans, many of whom worked in essential but undervalued occupations like caregiving, service industries, and agriculture. Economic models predict this change could reduce senior poverty rates by up to 50% within 5 years of implementation. The calculations for this enhanced minimum benefit would be relatively straightforward. For example, a senior who worked 30 years at minimum wage jobs might currently receive around $950 monthly in Social Security benefits, well below the poverty line. Under the new proposal, their benefit would increase to approximately $1,450 per month, providing a much more secure retirement. This represents a recognition that the current benefit formula often fails to provide adequate support for those who spent their careers in low-wage but essential work. The proposal has attracted support across political lines, with advocates emphasizing both the moral imperative of caring for vulnerable seniors and the economic benefits of reducing poverty. When seniors have more income, they spend it in their local communities, creating a positive ripple effect throughout the economy. Healthcare costs may also decrease as seniors with adequate income can better afford preventative care and proper nutrition. Critics have raised questions about funding mechanisms, but proponents argue that the previously mentioned tax adjustments would cover these costs while creating a more just system overall. Beyond the two major benefit increases, several additional Social Security reforms are under serious consideration, including a controversial proposal to raise the full retirement age from 67 to 69. Proponents argue this change would help address the program's financial challenges by delaying benefit payments as Americans live longer. However, critics point out that this approach disproportionately impacts blue-collar workers in physically demanding jobs who may be unable to extend their careers, as well as populations with lower life expectancies. If implemented, this change would likely be phased in gradually over the next decade, affecting younger workers more significantly than those approaching retirement. Another contentious proposal involves slowing down the annual cost of living adjustments, COLA, by approximately 0.5%. While seemingly small, this reduction would compound over time, significantly eroding purchasing power for retirees. A senior receiving benefits for 20 years could see their real benefits reduced by over 10% compared to current projections. Advocates claim this adjustment would help stabilize the trust fund, but critics argue it fundamentally undermines the purpose of Social Security by failing to keep pace with actual living expenses, particularly healthcare costs, which typically rise faster than general inflation. The proposal to incrementally increase the Social Security payroll tax from 6.2% to 6.5% over 6 years has gained bipartisan support as a relatively modest adjustment that could significantly improve the program's financial outlook. This approach would spread the financial responsibility across all workers and employers while generating substantial additional revenue. For a worker earning $50,000 annually, this would mean an additional $150 per year in Social Security taxes, roughly $12.50 per month. According to actuarial projections, this change alone could extend the trust fund's solvency by approximately 25 years. Perhaps the most significant funding proposal involves raising the income cap subject to Social Security taxes. Currently, earnings above $176,100 aren't taxed for Social Security purposes. The new proposal would increase this cap to $250,000, requiring higher income earners to contribute more to the system. This change would affect approximately the top 6% of wage earners while generating an estimated $1.4 trillion in additional revenue over the next decade. Studies suggest this single change could address roughly 70% of the projected Social Security shortfall and help fund the benefit increases previously discussed.